So the Celtic gods are amongst us, by Belenos, by Trutatis. I'm not far from Tarleton, not far from the foray, up near Cirencester. The village of Cotes up here is Old English for cottages. And today we're investigating the head of the Thames. This isn't the Thames, this is the Thames and Severn canal. And a lot of historical periods coalesce in this part of the country. This was a bit of a surprise. Now, I know there are air holes, air vents for underground a railway tunnel somewhere not far from here, but I can see the railways up on the embankment over there. I don't know what this is. It's a total surprise. It may well just be a folly. It might be something to do with the administration of the canal, though I don't see why it needs to be done in a Gothic style. Doesn't look like a dovecot. Most follies are on top of a hill and we're at the bottom near the water. So, what is it? I haven't a clue. What clues we do? Well, clues we do have, it's brick on the inside. So that stone there is dressing. So we have a few periods of different styles of transport from different periods. We've got the Roman road, the fossway, named in the charters as well, it's the fosse. I was trying to remember the Latin, but anyway. We've got the road, which is Roman, you know, up to 410 AD. Then we've got the canals, 18th century, going on into the 19th century, then replaced by the railway, 19th, 20th century, still used today, a train's just gone past. And we've got the Cotswold Airport. Which scared my wife the first time she saw it. Being typical Cotswold, it was basically a load of hedges, some fields, some sheep, and then this massive jumbo jet tail fin sticking out of the hedge. And she was going, "We need to call the fire brigade, there's been a crash." And she just couldn't understand how there was a modern airport in the middle of the Cotswolds. It doesn't look like it. It's this like countryside jumbo jets, you know. So we've got several hundred years of different styles of transport. And transport's not just about getting from place to place. It's also about getting goods from place to place. It is the economic lifeblood, distribution, exchange of a nation. And a lot of the ways that was done in England is illustrated here. Tunnel house might give us a clue about that circular building. I wonder. Maybe there still is a tunnel. There's a tunnel as well as the overland railway, perhaps. There's one other form of transport we haven't considered, I haven't mentioned, is the River Thames. Sorry Tweedy, but the Thames is another way to travel in winter without getting your feet wet. You know, the canals are a modern feature of the landscape, but for centuries people have used the rivers to get up and down. They're quite a speedy way to do it. And rivers have been, the River Thames has been really massively important, especially to London, but it goes through Reading and up to Oxford and places like that. So it's a way for people to get their goods and chattel from the west, from the Cotswolds down to London, to the big markets, the best prices. I'm looking for the source of the Thames. The OS map is a static picture of the landscape, and you'll find in bad winters that rivers go further up into the hills than they do on the map. So we'll see how far. I mean, it's been a very wet winter, so we'll see how high the Thames starts. I'm on the Thames path now. So the Celtic gods are amongst us, by Belenos, by Trutatis. Well, Cumalos is. I wanted to do this walk today in Kemble. There's a Saxon charter, but there's older place names than the Saxons here. One of which is Kemble, which is a type of forest. It's described in the Saxon charter as a forest, as a wood. Ekwall thinks that it's derived from the Celtic god Cumalos, who was associated with And Eckwall is an authority on place names. He wrote the Dictionary of English Place Names. Cumalos is the god of the Belgae, and the received wisdom on the Belgae is that they are a tribe that took over part of southern Britain, but they turn up all over Britain, they turn up all over France. There's a possibility they were some sort of dynasty, and this god was something to do with them. He seems to be a god that protects from annihilation, not so much a war. They had a war god element, but he was about the preservation of the people and the fruitfulness of the land of the people and all the rest of it. And the wood of Kemble near here is a remnant of his name in the landscape. Now, it doesn't mean we're at the source of the Thames here, the river of England, the important one. It doesn't mean that Cumalos has got anything to do with the River Thames. The source of the River Thames is right next to an Iron Age hill fort, Shrewsbury, which might give us a clue as to why the British, the Welsh, the Celts built an Iron Age hill fort when there are plenty of other hills around here. It's not even the biggest hill. They chose that hill over there to build their hill fort, which accentuates what I was talking about, that hill forts are religious places just as much as they are political and military, possibly even more religious. They could not have done anything but worship this well, this stream, the source of this river, which makes this place an important locus for something significant and symbolic. But nothing's really come down to us. All we have are fragments. There's no real clue in the name Shrewsbury. It probably means the hill fort of the bushes or the trees. Trowel, can't get my tongue around it. I'll try and put my teeth back in. Trowel is Old English for tree. Now, of course, the people who built that hill fort weren't English, but perhaps there might be some sort of tradition that went forward from the prehistoric. We know that the Anglo-Saxons did record British Welsh names, the prehistoric names. Thames is an example. I want to talk more about not just Cumalos but Belenos as well. But I've only got a couple of hours of daylight, so I'm going to get back to the car. So I'm going to come back and do it another time. I didn't get as far as Kemble. Kemble's just over there, the fossway is just over there. And that will make the next part of the walk. We'll go and have a look at the Saxon landmarks, have a look at see if we can have a look at Kemble Wood, and then talk about the Celtic gods, what we know of them.